back to Market on Close. I'm Caroline Woods, live from the New York Stock Exchange. It's time to discuss the earnings from Palantir as shares sell off in reaction. Kim Forrest is founder and chief investment officer of Boca Capital Partners. She joins us now. Kim, great to have you.
Great to be on the show.
So, Kim, I was looking at some of the commentary from CEO Alex Karp. Palantir is on fire. He's very, very optimistic. Talked about rapid expansion, significant demand, 71% year-over-year growth in the U.S. commercial business. Yet shares are sharply lower today. Obviously, we knew the bar was high given how Palantir had performed so far year to date, but shares down 12%. What happened here?
Well, it's more of like what didn't happen. Apparently, sales in Europe did not happen at the rate at which the company had forecast, and investors are kind of cranky about it. Look, whenever you are an extremely highly valued company where you have, triple-digit PEs, and that is certainly the case of Palantir, you have to not only meet those objectives, you have to overcome those overperform, outperform, whatever your favorite word is. And they simply didn't do that, and largely because of the sales in Europe. And we can only imagine, was that tariffs or just, as Alex Karp kind of indicated, that Europe isn't ready for AI at this point. And I don't know what that means, but let's just toss that out there.
Okay, so some international growth concerns there. I remember earlier this year there were DOGE concerns that Palantir would be a target of DOGE in terms of budget cuts. Have those subsided? Did we hear anything on that front? It seems like given the U.S. numbers, those are in the past.
Yes, I think so. And I have the unique position here of somebody that's actually worked on DARPA contracts. And that is the Advanced Technology Department of Defense kind of contracts, which is exactly the kind of contracts that Palantir is getting and has gotten for a very long time. Now, most of those contracts are bespoke projects, where you're starting with zero code or very little, purchased products, and you build everything from scratch. And I think Palantir has a more than reasonable argument that their products out-succeed the other people that are doing it the old-fashioned way, which is building everything from scratch, is that they're selling a product and then they kind of, adapt that product for use quickly and come up with an answer for the government. So that's a very long way of saying they have highly productive products that are less likely to get cut than most of the other DARPA projects.
Okay, so given that and the fact that shares are down about 12% right now, would you buy on the weakness?
Well, they're still very, very expensive with respect to forward PE. And the company looks like it's going to have to continue to invest in itself and create new products. And guess what we've learned from the last year, thanks to NVIDIA? Investing in AI is really expensive because you have to buy these expensive products from NVIDIA and things like that. And you have expensive people. So I would be cautious about this and have a very long-term view for shares if I would buy them.
Okay. Is there something else you would buy instead?
No, I actually really like the company, not only because of their product focus, but they're kind of zigging and zagging and adapting. Like just this afternoon, they had, at the Milken conference, they had an announcement that they're going to be working with Thomas Tull's new organization that's going to go after financial services applications with AI. And Thomas Tull has Acrisure, I think that's how you say it. So he's familiar and works in that area. And they're also combining with X and going to run it on top of XAI. So he will work with others to get, the job done. And I think that's kind of an interesting thing. So I would take a good hard look at Palantir.
Okay. Just finally, you mentioned NVIDIA. NVIDIA, obviously the last of the Mag 7 that still has to report earnings, but want to get your thoughts on big tech, especially since we've heard from the majority here.
Sure.
Just your view. Obviously, Mag 7 has been under pressure for the most part this year. Microsoft is higher now. Year to date, Meta is actually higher, essentially flat right now. But overall, it's been a lot of underperformance there. Thoughts?
Well, I think this is a mismatched expectation and timeline of what AI could do. And, you know, again, I used to work in AI. It takes a very long time to develop these things. And as we know, it takes a lot of money to develop them. And NVIDIA is the primary beneficiary of that money. So we know that all of their products are probably sold out for the foreseeable future. And it's by the Magnificent Seven. Well, the Magnificent Four, right, who are buying them. Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but Microsoft in the form of OpenAI. So their products are in demand. If you want to play directly AI, that's probably your best shot. Again, somebody could come out of the blue, like we're going to hear from AMD how they're doing this afternoon, and everybody wants to replace the NVIDIA chip. So the target's on their back. Just be wary of other competitors out there that could take all of their sales away, not necessarily overnight, but very rapidly if somebody comes up with a cheaper, better, faster solution.
All right, we've been waiting for that for quite some time, and it seems like no one's really been able to catch up. We'll see what AMD has to say tonight. Kim Forrest, Boca Capital Partners, thank you so much.